Namaste, and welcome back to another episode of The Current. I'm your host, Noah Wynn, and at this point in the semester, I'm feeling pretty burnt out. That's why this week, we're focusing on the art of yoga and the opportunities to get involved around campus. If you're unaware, yoga is the act of using your breath control, meditation, and specific body postures to improve one's flexibility, balance, and mental focus. UNCW is one of the only 2 universities in the country to offer yoga as a minor. And in this episode, we're talking with Vanessa Suarez, who serves as Vice President of UNCW's Yoga Club. And we're going to learn about how yoga helps her. If you hang with us long enough, we might enter a flow state. Oh, hey guys. Sorry, me and my guest Vanessa, we were just meditating. Vanessa, how are you doing today?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good. Can you tell us a little about yourself and what you do regarding UNCW, your studies, or the yoga field?
Yeah, so I'm a junior at UNCW and I am majoring in integrated marketing communication, and my minor is actually yoga, so we can talk a little bit about that today. I'm super excited. I'm actually an out-of-state student, so coming to North Carolina was a big shift for me, but this is where I found my love for yoga, and without coming to UNCW, I would have never found the yoga minor and been as involved and invested as I am now. So,
Was there any events that made you find that yoga passion, while you're here, any events?
Yeah, so I actually took a gap semester my freshman year, so fall of 2023. I wasn't in college. I was traveling around Colombia for a while. So coming into UNCW my spring semester, I didn't really have a lot of friends and I didn't have a community yet.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing I thought of to get involved with was the UNCW Yoga Club. And at the time it was still very small, very niche. Not a lot of people were going to these flows, but I would go every Sunday and every Thursday. And I feel like that's kind of where I found a passion for yoga, just because the teachers and the people around me at the time, even though it was only 2 to 3 girls, it was such a good energy, and I was like, I want to be just like the instructor. She's so cool, she seems so outdoorsy, and her energy is so grounded. This is definitely something that I want to integrate into my own life. So yeah.
So you found your community, and those people kind of helped you get accustomed to the Wilmington lifestyle.
Yes.
Obviously, you said you do beach yoga sessions.
Yeah.
And that's part of the club. But as you have been doing yoga these past couple of years, how have you, now you're in a vice president role for the UNCW Yoga Club.
Yeah.
How did you step into that role?
So it's actually a funny story because I didn't expect to be in the VP role this year. Last semester I was on the board, but the way Yoga Club runs is that nobody actually has a direct role. We all just help each other out and we work together. So we're all kind of one and the same, but we do have titles. Last semester I was just treasurer or something. I don't think we ever put a label to it. But our president at the time, she was a senior. She actually had to take a step back and she left, got her dream job. It was kind of on the fly, and she was like, you ladies can take over. So me and my roommate, Fiona Quinn, she's the president right now, we kind of just stepped into this role spontaneously. It just kind of found us, I guess, or not found us, but we weren't expecting to be president and VP this spring semester, maybe next year. But yeah, I had no anticipation of being the vice president.
So ever since you stepped into this role, have you seen the club grow a lot?
Being that there was only 3 to 10 people max that would come, now our flows on Saturdays, like you mentioned, we have Saturday flows, there's at least 20 girls who show up. And when we do the beach ones, we can get probably around 30 if it's a good turnout. But the club this semester specifically definitely has grown and just become a lot more active, because last semester, I will say, we weren't on our game with promoting, but recently we've been really prioritizing marketing the club, sending out messages, and being super clear about what's going on and how you can get more involved. And we really appreciate participation. So that was one of the major points we made at the interest meeting this semester, that we want people to come together and we want this community to grow and become strong. So participation really does matter. And it's really been blossoming and growing ever since.
What's some advice that you'd want to give to someone who wants to step into that field and who is hesitant or unsure they're not going to fit in or something? What advice would you give them?
Yeah, so initially when I was considering even going to flows by myself, I'd be like, ooh, like, do I really want to do this? Like, I don't have any friends right now. I wish I was going with someone. But sometimes you just have to put that fear and that anxiety aside and say, something beautiful can come about this. And a lot of opportunities lie on the other side of your discomfort. So get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because that's when you're going to find your passions and you're going to find your people. And I think that's exactly what happened with me with the yoga club. I was really uncomfortable to go at first, but I realized that nobody's going to force me, nobody's going to take my hand and bring me to a flow. So I'm going to have to do it myself. And then I ended up meeting great people and it worked out. And especially with a culture like Yoga Club, it can be nerve-wracking, but at the same time, it's yoga. So you know you're going to find people who are peaceful, grounded, and like-minded, who are definitely showing up just to improve their mental health, their spiritual health, or their physical health. So you're going to find your people, and it's really not as scary as you think. It definitely can be intimidating, but I would say just kind of try to look past that intimidation and realize that you're just stretching and flowing and breathing. It's really not that. Yeah.
Because I'm trying to get into yoga. I've been looking at it for a while because I work out and I do other kind of stuff, but I need some reassurance.
Yeah.
Do you have any embarrassing yoga stories at all? Because for me, I know if I get out there and I'm doing these poses, I'm like, I might be struggling a little bit.
Well, one time I was at Wilmington Yoga Center, and it's a great environment, it's a great space, and a lot of the yogis there are very advanced. But one of the yoga philosophies is actually don't compare. Like, everybody's journey is different. So my advice would be just don't compare yourself to others. What you're doing is perfectly fine for the path that you're on right now. But I would also say, in terms of embarrassing moments, when I was at the Wilmington Yoga Center one time, I saw everybody doing like handstands and holding them, and I've never been able to do a handstand. Like, I mean, recently I've been actually getting better at it, but I've never
That sparked you. Yes. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. Yeah.
And I went to go do it, and I just like literally flopped over. Like, that was it.
Oh,
like,
you tried?
I did try, and like I hit the mat, and I was
Which way did you fall?
I fell to the side. Like, I definitely like kind of tried to catch myself, and I looked around, and I was like, oh,
but like
shoot. But,
like you said, with that community, it's like trial and error. They're not.
Like,
they don't care.
No, like literally in some styles of flow, or actually all flows, you can go into child's pose. You can go down into Shavasana whenever you want. So it's really not strict.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the different styles and flows, is there any one that you have that's your favorite, or like you look forward to, or like you like to show other people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to practice, I definitely like going to hot yoga, which is always just kind of like a vinyasa flow. Hot yoga, it's usually like around 98 to like 101
so you're
degrees.
Sweating in there.
Yeah, you're sweating.
Yeah.
I really like it because sure, you're putting in effort, but the heat is what makes you sweat, and you kind of feel like you're getting refreshed and all the toxins are being cleared out of your body with minimal effort. Like, it's not like going to the gym where it's cold and you really have to like overexert yourself to get that good sweat in. If you go to hot yoga, you're kind of stretching, flowing, getting stronger through like mind-muscle connection, but the heat is doing the work for you.
Right.
So I definitely like hot yoga and like kind of that vinyasa power flow.
So it's like a sauna. It's like a sauna almost.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, right, yeah.
But to teach, I really enjoy teaching gentle. I feel like I'm relatively a very hyper and like anxious person sometimes. So through my own teaching, it helps me calm down, and I know I'm doing that service for others.
Right.
So gentle would be my favorite to teach.
Has been doing yoga helped you navigate stress levels or different emotions? And like you said, it helps you like regulate those certain things.
Yeah.
Do you notice a big difference for when you didn't do yoga versus now when you do yoga?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I like innately just have like a lot of nervous energy moving through me sometimes. And ever since I started doing yoga, and if I do it consistently, like let's say I do it 3 times a week, I notice a weight off my shoulders. I notice a difference in the way that I sleep, in the way that my energy is from the moment I wake up in the morning, and the way that I move through my day. Or if I am having like a hard week and I go to a yoga flow, I'll immediately feel different and like lighter on my feet. So,
oh yeah, for sure. And do you think it connects people in that community on a deeper level, like almost like nonverbal? Like when you're doing it together, you feel connected with your environment, with the people.
Yeah.
Do you feel that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like especially in the yoga minor and being in WPA 220 and WPA 420 with Laura and Megan, I feel like they do a really good job at letting you know that yoga is to yoke, which means to unite. So it is a place where even though you might not be talking the whole time, you feel somebody else's energy like supporting you, rooting for you, and just their good energy transfers onto you. So yeah.
So obviously the yoga minor, do you need to know anything about like the history of yoga, like the different practices, like from different cultures or origins? Like do you need to know that kind of stuff before you go into that, or no?
You don't need to know before you get involved into yoga. I feel like that's taking it a step further.
Right.
So for me and all of my friends who are getting certified, we need to like know those things and learn about it. So we take an Asian religions class, and that's where we learn about Western yoga versus Eastern yoga. And I feel like that's kind of where you decide which one you kind of favor. Eastern is more traditional. Western is more modern. You'll hear more of like the upbeat music. It's a little bit faster. It's a little bit more today's time, whereas Eastern is a lot more religious, I guess you could say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you have a certain a preferred style? Like do you like the upbeat kind of stuff, or like do you like the more calm, or it just depends on your mood kind of
I
deal?
think it just depends on my mood, honestly, and I feel like I like to meet right in the middle. Like I understand deeply the Eastern appeal, but I also do really like the Western side of things.
Sure.
When I hear a song that I know, or like I'm in Shavasana and it's not a sad song, but it's just a song that I like relate to, I'm like, this is good. But that's more of a Western ideology. So
Right.
yeah.
The yoga minor at UNCW, if someone wants to do that and pursue that, what can they expect for the timeline? Like where they start and where they end off? Like what can they expect if they want to do that?
Yeah, so it's only, I think it's 16 credits.
Is it? Yeah.
It's around there, but it doesn't take too long to complete. Like I started last semester and I'm going to be done by the fall with my certification. But you start off with needing your WPA 101. That's the entry level course. You can take whichever. And then the next step would be WPA 220, which is the intro to all things yoga, where you learn about postures, asanas, pranayamas, which is breath work, the mental health side of things. Like you just learn like a bunch about it, and then you take it a step further in 420, and then after that I think you need one elective and human anatomy, so you're learning about the body, the muscles, how everything connects. But yeah, it doesn't really take too long. I mean, you can spread it out over your semesters the way that you want to. But
the one time I did yoga, well, I was doing the poses and it was almost so uncomfortable. I was like, I don't like this. But so you're not supposed to like push yourself to that, like, right? You're not supposed to push yourself. Like if I want to do a deep stretch and it hurts,
yeah, no.
I'm not supposed to do that, right?
No, so like there's something in yoga, this is like a little bit deeper, but it's called ahimsa, which is nonviolence. And when you're practicing yoga, you really don't want to push yourself to the point where like your face is getting red and you're like wincing. Like, sure, you want to push yourself and you want to feel a little bit of your muscle maybe pulling and like contracting, just so you know that you are taking it a step further, but you never want to push yourself to the point where it's like competitive and you need to do it and
you're trying to outdo the other person.
Outdo another person, yeah. So you never want to be in pain. Like some discomfort's okay, but the minute you're very uncomfortable, you kind of need to let off, because that's a major part of the practice too, knowing your body's limits and knowing if you're ready for it or not, and evaluating what your body's saying and then applying it.
So it's like the more you do the pose over time, the more you do it, you slowly get into that deep kind of stretch kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you have any friends or family that you've tried to put onto yoga that maybe they were like, I don't know, and you're like, no, try it out, it'll help you?
Yeah, so I've definitely, I feel like my hometown where I grew up, yoga hasn't always been a big deal. Like we don't have that many studios in town, and even in my family, like they don't practice yoga, but there's so many times where I'm like, Mom, like,
try it out.
You gotta try it out, girl. Like, this is gonna be good for you.
It's life-changing,
Yeah, so I definitely try to like, not push or pressurize, but I'm like, we should try it. Like, I can teach you, or we can do it together. And yeah, like there's certain points where I've tried to get like my family or friends at home involved, but
yeah. So do you have any last message about the UNCW Yoga Club or the minor that you can kind of push people to go try it out or think about it?
Yeah, I would just say if you're thinking about it, definitely just do it. I mean,
Just go for it.
just go for it. There's no harm in trying something new. And when it comes to something like yoga, it's going to help you mentally, physically, spiritually. It's going to help your breath. It's going to help your mindset and the way that you think about things. So I would just say go for it, and you'll be surprised how much it actually does impact your life.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you so much, Vanessa. Hold tight, because she'll be right back to help us reach a flow state. But first, we're going to hand it off to Marie for the soothing sounds of Wave Watch. Excuse us while we practice our meditation. Let's go.
Oh, hello everyone. Didn't see you there. I'm Ree Murphy. Welcome back to the Wave Watch. Here's some more things that didn't happen this week around campus. Sources told TMZ that Donna Kelsey, the NFL's resident mother, began renovations on her home in Florida. To bring her groundbreaking ideas to life, she hired the company currently building UNCW's newest dorm. Kelsey hopes to be back in her house by January 2027. Dancing with the Stars pro Mark Ballas, seen here giving Vice President CRD puppy eyes in hopes she won't yell at him for not participating in Teal Tuesday, is joining his celebrity dance partner Whitney Levitt in Chicago on Broadway as Billy Flynn for a limited engagement. Don't worry though, their run will be shorter than the line at Chick-fil-A during peak lunch hours. And finally, actor Timothy Chalamet is facing backlash after he said in an interview that no one cared about ballet and opera anymore. This remark comes following his rejection from UNCW's music program. Sources say he auditioned with an original song about statistics, which didn't impress judges. When it comes to what's actually happening, UNCW's Yoga Club hosts weekly beach flow sessions every Saturday at 10 a.m. at Wrightsville Beach's Access 36. And now, I'm gonna try and enter a flow state while we get back to the show.
Welcome back, everyone. Vanessa is in flow state right now. And as me, as a new student to the yoga, I'm sure a lot of you guys are too, Vanessa will be trying to show me what to do and what poses to do in yoga. Is there any poses that you want to show me today?
Yes, so these are some of the most beginner poses that you could start out with, especially if this is your first time ever practicing. So if you want to get onto your mat, we can just start on our knees. And the first pose is child's pose. Usually you'll either start off your class in child's pose, and teachers will also have you end your practice in child's pose. It's a restful pose and stretch. So if you just hinge at the hips and then walk the hands to the top of your mat, and then you can rest your head onto the mat.
How far should I be stretching right now? A comfortable position, right?
A comfortable position.
Okay,
So you don't want to stretch too far. Oftentimes, like, if you wanted to use a block in this position, it kind of helps you. Your head does not have to meet the mat, especially if you haven't done this before. It can be a little bit uncomfortable. So what I usually tell people is just notice how you feel, notice your breath, and really try to ground down in this position. This is kind of the starting point, just to notice your body and understand more what your body's trying to tell you today.
How am I doing so far?
It looks great.
Looks
yeah.
great?
Yeah, it looks good.
Okay.
So then you can tippy toe your hands back towards your body. Slowly and gently. Slowly but surely, and then just come back onto your knees.
Right.
So that pose is child's pose. And then since we're already on the mat, we can go ahead and do a downward dog. That's what you will see often in a Sun A salutation or a Sun B salutation. It's one of the most basics in yoga. So you can come onto all fours, like a tabletop position, and then you can curl the toes.
Okay. Curl my toes like that way, or like that? Like that?
Like this,
okay,
yeah.
Okay. All
And
right.
then you can just push up and back into your hips. And then just making sure that your back, your head, and your neck are all aligned. You can let the head hang heavy here. And then, since this is probably the first time we're both stretching today, you can pedal out the feet.
I'm feeling muscles and joints I didn't know I had.
Yeah, so you can just pedal out like that.
All right.
And then Yeah, like it looks good.
It's in my calves? Yeah, okay, all
You
right.
feel it in your calves.
I feel my calves, is that good?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
really good.
all right, okay.
Okay, and then to just come out of it, you would just meet back in tabletop. So you would
So crouch down.
crouch down and then, yep, just meet like that.
Yeah,
So that would be the two that I would show a beginner, just because the downward dog, obviously you felt stretched your calf area.
A little bit.
You're also working your arms, your spine is starting to like wake up a little bit. But we can now come up onto our feet.
Okay.
And then the first one that I'm going to show you is called mountain pose, which is also called Tadasana. So mountain pose, you want to have your feet hip width distance apart. And then you can put your arms at your side. And then usually here's where you just take a few deep inhales and exhales. You want to feel if there's any tension in your shoulders, you can tense them up and then release them. It's kind of...
I tend to hold my breath. Can you like count me how I should be breathing? Like how long should I be breathing
Yeah,
for?
so I could tell you to inhale for 3. So you
Okay.
would just go 1, 2, 3, and then exhale.
Slowly?
1, 2, 3, yep.
Okay.
And then usually we'll say inhale your arms up overhead. And then you can touch your palms at the top and then slice down through the middle, meeting at heart center.
It's like some coordination.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
really just want to like focus on your muscles and the alignment. And then you can just relax your arms and your
start
hands at
position.
your side, and that would be mountain pose. And then lastly, our tree pose is for balance. So this one, you could pick either foot, left or right, grounding down into the foot of your choosing, taking the other leg, and you can place it on the ankle.
Okay. Oh, here we go.
Okay, and then making sure you tuck the pelvis. So you want
Okay.
not like this,
Tuck in.
but like this, and just engaging the core
Okay.
is what's gonna help you balance a little bit more here. And
a
then,
little balance issue sometimes, but I'm working on it.
that's okay, I
Yeah.
also am wobbly today. Every day is different, but you can also bring it up if you feel comfortable doing so.
Yeah.
Like even I
I would like to know, one of our directors is doing it along with us, so I appreciate you're teaching everyone today. So I'm gonna keep doing it.
And then if you are feeling it, you can also guide your ankle up onto the inner thigh. You always want to avoid the knee area,
Okay.
but you could place it there or just keep it where it is, whatever feels comfortable for you. And then that's just our tree pose. Sometimes for extra balance, if you're wanting to test a little bit, just to see where you're at, you can grow your branches. And
Everyone follow along.
sometimes we wave them around a little bit.
Like tree branches, like you
Yes,
said.
you grow your tree branches.
Yeah.
Then wave them around in the wind. And then you can just relax them.
So is
And
this,
then-
is this pose when like the hype music's going on? Is this like calm music?
I mean, it all just depends.
Depends.
Usually this one is probably more calming because you're trying not to wobble around a lot, especially if you are feeling a little bit unbalanced. But yeah, and then another thing I would just say is when you are doing poses like tree pose, you always want to do it on the other side just to balance out your body because
Right.
you don't want any imbalances happening later on down the road. But for today, that's perfect just the way it is.
Well, I appreciate it so much for showing me
Yeah.
and our crew and our viewers. I hope you guys are doing along with us. I'm gonna work on my balance and I'm gonna try practicing these and I'll get back to you guys about that. But Vanessa, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And thanks for being on. And go check out the UNCW Yoga Club or look at the UNCW Minor. And Vanessa's the vice president, so hope to see you guys soon. We're gonna continue our meditation and flow state because I've reached it.
Namaste.
Namaste.